He felt a shift, a change in the air. His wife, usually a beacon of warmth and openness, seemed distant. Her laughter, once a familiar melody, now felt forced. He noticed her lingering glances at her phone, her hushed whispers during late-night calls, her once vibrant eyes now clouded with secrecy. Doubt, like a serpent, began to coil around his heart. Each unanswered question, each stolen glance chipped away at the foundation of their love. He yearned for the days when their hearts beat in unison, when their souls danced together under a sky of shared dreams. Now, a chasm of unspoken words and hidden truths threatened to swallow them whole. The whispers started subtly, mere suggestions in the recesses of his mind, but they grew louder with each passing day, fueled by her evasive answers and unexplained absences. He hated the suspicion that gnawed at him, the jealousy that reared its ugly head. He loathed the man he saw in the mirror, a stranger consumed by doubt. He longed to confide in someone, to share the burden of his fears. But who could he tell? Who would understand the turmoil that raged within him? He was trapped in a prison of his own making, the bars forged from his own insecurities and fears. The weight of his suspicions pressed down on him, suffocating him. Sleep offered no escape, only fitful dreams haunted by images of betrayal and loss. He tried to focus on the good times, on the memories they had built together. But the seeds of doubt had taken root, poisoning the well of his affections. He watched her, searching for answers in the curve of her smile, in the depths of her eyes. But her gaze was guarded, her touch hesitant. He was losing her, he could feel it. And the worst part was, he didn't know how to stop it. He couldn't take it anymore. The torment of uncertainty was unbearable. So he did what he swore he never would. He followed her. His heart pounded in his chest, a drumbeat of fear and anticipation. He watched from a distance as she met with another man. Laughter, touches, intimacy. A scene that shattered his world into a million pieces. Rage coursed through him, hot and blinding. He wanted to confront them, to demand answers. But a strange sense of numbness washed over him, leaving him feeling empty and hollow. The drive home was a blur. He couldn't remember how he got there, his mind a whirlwind of hurt and anger. He walked through the door, his heart heavy with the weight of his discovery. She was there, waiting for him. A smile graced her lips, a look of genuine happiness he hadn't seen in weeks, but all he could see was the betrayal, the image of her with another man seared into his mind. "We need to talk," he said, his voice a low growl. Her smile faltered, replaced by a look of concern. "What is it, honey? What's wrong?" He couldn't hold it in any longer. The words tumbled out, accusations laced with pain and resentment. "I saw you today," he spat, his voice shaking with anger. "With him." Her eyes widened in surprise, then narrowed in confusion. "With whom?" "Don't play coy with me," he said, his voice rising. "I know what I saw." "Honey, you're not making any sense," she said, her voice soft but firm. "Tell me what's going on." He took a deep breath, trying to regain his composure. "I followed you. I saw you with another man. The laughter, the touching, don't lie to me." She stared at him for a moment, her expression unreadable. Then a slow smile spread across her face. "Oh, honey," she said, her voice filled with amusement. "That wasn't what you thought it was." He frowned, confusion clouding his anger. "What do you mean?" "That was David," she explained, her eyes twinkling. "He's a jeweler. I've been secretly designing something special for you." "Designing something?" he repeated, his mind struggling to catch up. "For us," she corrected gently. She reached into her purse and pulled out a small velvet box. "I was going to surprise you at dinner tonight." He took the box from her, his hands trembling. Inside, nestled in soft white satin, were 2 platinum wedding bands engraved with the words, "Forever and Always." He stared at the rings, his heart pounding in his chest. It all came flooding back to him now. Her late-night calls, her whispered conversations, her unexplained absences. It wasn't another man. It was a surprise, a testament to their love. And he had almost thrown it all away. Shame washed over him, hot and suffocating. He looked at his wife, his heart aching with remorse. "I'm so sorry," he whispered, his voice thick with emotion. "I was so caught up in my own insecurities I didn't trust you." She took his hand in hers, her touch as familiar and comforting as ever. "It's okay," she said softly. "What matters is we're here now." He pulled her close, burying his face in her hair. He had been a fool, blinded by his own doubts. He had almost lost the most precious thing in his life. They stood hand in hand, facing each other under a canopy of twinkling lights. Their closest friends and family surrounded them, their faces beaming with love and support. As the officiant spoke, he looked into his wife's eyes, seeing the reflection of their journey together, the laughter, the tears, the triumphs and the challenges. They had weathered the storm, emerging stronger and more connected than ever before. Their love, once tested by doubt, now burned brighter than ever. With trembling hands, he slipped the new ring on her finger, his heart overflowing with love and gratitude. This was their fresh start, a promise to always communicate, to always trust, to always cherish the love they shared. And as they sealed their vows with a kiss, he knew that their love story was far from over. It was just beginning.